Good morning. English 8 is glad to have you today. And today we're going to talk about the difference in a preposition and an adverb. Words we've talked about this whole year can have multiple jobs, okay? A noun can serve as the subject. It can also be a direct object. It could be an indirect object. It could be the object of a preposition. It could be in a positive. Okay, those are all the things that a noun might do. Mrs. Turner has many jobs. I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a grandma, I'm a teacher. I teach 5th grade Sunday school, and I miss my girls from the South Side in Sunday school. I am a junior church worker. I work in Junior C, and I do a lot of different things, okay? Just as I have different roles in those jobs, words have different roles. They can be different things. Now, we've learned a list of words that we call the prepositions, and we say these words are prepositions, and that's true. Every word that you've memorized is a preposition, but sometimes they can be an adverb. It's very, very, very simple to tell the difference, okay? First, look at our sentence. We went inside. What word looks like a preposition? Well, the word inside. But in order to have a preposition, all prepositions have to show a relationship between two things. So they have to have an object, okay? In my sentence, the word inside does not have an object. Instead, the word inside simply tells me where we went. We went where? We went inside. So the word inside is not a preposition. The word inside is an adverb. It's an adverb because it tells me where. Remember, an adverb tells us where, when, how often, to what extent, under what condition, or why. Now, the difference between a preposition and an adverb is very, very simple because every preposition must have an object, and an adverb will never have an object. So when you look at a word and go, oh, that word's on my preposition list. Does it have an object? Yes, it's a preposition. Oh, that word's on my preposition list. Does it have an object? No, then it's an adverb, okay? Look at the next one. We went inside the tent, okay? What's my prepositional phrase? Inside the tent. Inside the tent is a prepositional phrase, so inside's a preposition because it has the object tent. We should always walk toward God. What's the prepositional phrase in this word, in this sentence? Toward God. We know it's a prepositional phrase because the word toward has the object God. Remember, an object is always going to be a noun or a pronoun. It needs to be a person, place, thing, or idea. Okay? On the boat, we took the food below. There are two words in this sentence that may be a preposition. The first one is the word on. Okay? Is there a prepositional phrase? On the boat. Since on the boat is a prepositional phrase, the word on is the preposition and the word boat is my object. Now there's one more word in that sentence that could be a preposition because it's on my prepositional list. That's the word below. The word below does not have an object after it. So it tells us where we took the food. So below is an adverb. Okay, look at the next one. We shared the candy among the children. What's the word that could be a preposition? Among. Does the word among have an object? Yes, children. So my prepositional phrase is among the children. Among is the preposition. Children is the object of my preposition. Look in your grammar book at page 219. 219. While you're doing that, while you're turning there, let me just remind you, a preposition must have an object, and an adverb will never have an object, okay? Prepositions will always have an object, and adverbs will never have an object. Before we look at our sentences, I want us to think, we already know our prepositional list, or you should know your prepositional list. If you don't, This is your last ditch effort to memorize it before you go to high school. Brother, oh my goodness, Cooper, I couldn't think of his name. Brother Cooper expects you to know them. He expects you to walk in day one and know your prepositions, okay? So I'm gonna try to help you get really ready in the next few weeks for high school. We sat down and we talked about the things he expects you to know day one when you walk in to his class, okay? And the things that he expects, I have taught. I have taught every one of them. There was nothing he has asked me about except sentence patterns, which we're going to get to before the school year ends, that we haven't covered. So you've been taught, you should know this, but we're going to review it because I don't want you to go in there and think, I don't know what to do, Brother Cooper, okay? I want you to know the answers, okay? First, I want you to look at your compound prepositions. Compound prepositions are more than one word that scoots together for one purpose. Let's read them together. According to, as for, because of. Do those three again. According to, as for, because of. Continue. By way of, except for, in front of, in spite of, instead of, on account of, out of, regardless of, with regard to. Let's do them one more time. Ready? According to, as for, because of, by way of, except for, in front of, in spite of, instead of, on count of, out of, regardless of, and with regard to. Those are our compound prepositions. Now, I want you to look at page 219. We're going to talk about prepositions and adverbs. Help me decide if these words are prepositions or are they adverbs. Look at number 1. John Glenn left the ground behind and became the first American to orbit Earth. When you look at that sentence, the word behind, does it have an object? No. So the word behind is an adverb. Look at number 2. John Glenn stood behind his constituents when he was senator from Ohio. Does it have an object there? Yes, behind his constituents. Constituents are the people that voted for him, okay? Behind his constituents. Because it has an object, the word behind is a preposition. Look at number 3. The First Lady motioned for the guests to be seated inside. Does the word inside have an object? No. So the word inside is an adverb. Number 4. The First Lady set the valuable gift inside the display cabinet. Okay, does the word inside have an object? Yes. Inside the display cabinet. Cabinet is the object, so it is a preposition. Number 5. The guard at the tomb of the unknown soldier walks along a set path. Along, does it have an object? Yes, it does. Along a set path. Path is the object. Number 6. The guard told the disrespectful observers to move along. Does along have an object? It does not. So it is an adverb. By the way, at the tomb of the unknown soldier, if you talk, if you chew gum, if you are trying to run around or horse around, playing around, being silly, they will escort you out, because that is a national monument representing the men who lost their lives in fighting for freedom for this country, to give you the right to go to a Christian school and to go to church and to carry a Bible, to own property. You know, there are people all over the world that would love to own property, not just because it's out of their financial ability. It's illegal. The government owns everything. We have those freedoms because of men that died for us and that they demand. And the Marines guard that 24/7, 365 days a year. And if you are disrespectful, they will bodily remove you from there. It's very, very, I hope someday you get to go to Washington, D.C. if you've not been there and see it. It's very moving to watch them do the changing of the guards. It takes several hours for one of those men to get ready before he goes out to walk guard. We'll talk about that another day, okay? Let's look at the next one. A few soldiers sat down on the hard ground to quickly eat their rations. Does the word down have an object? No. On the hard ground is a prepositional phrase. Down does not have an object. It is an adverb. The soldiers went down range to practice maneuvers. Okay, they went down range. Range is a place, okay? So yes, it has an object. It is a preposition. Abraham Lincoln led the nation through the horrors of the Civil War. Through, is that a preposition or is that an adverb? Through the horrors is a prepositional phrase, so it is a preposition. He believed God would see the nation through. Does through have an object? It does not. So that makes the word through an adverb. Tonight for homework, you're going to do page 219. You're going to write 4 original sentences containing prepositional phrases. I want you to put brackets around or parentheses around the prepositional phrases just like we do in class. One of your prepositional phrases must be a compound preposition, okay? We just went over what they were. If you forgot, just turn back a page. There's a list of them. Make sure that you pay attention. It has to have an object if it's a preposition. Just remember, if you have not already taken a moment to drop a comment in the comment section, or if you did one in intro, but you're going to do it again in English, that gives you an extra entry in the contest. Now, on the homework online, okay, they make sure that the homework that you do today, you'll notice it's about spelling, it's about vocab, then it has some review questions. The homework is for writing mastery, okay? So you need to be extremely careful that you are careful, and when you type, that you type exactly what Mrs. Turner did. If I put a comma, you put a comma. If I put a colon, you put a colon. Excuse me. You are allowed to use your spelling and vocab book to do the sentences. I'm not asking you to have them memorized yet. This is just my way of reviewing with you and getting ready. Okay, so you're gonna use your vocab word. Guys, there's no reason to miss these. Type them carefully so they're spelled correctly. Then use your vocab book to get the sentences right. The English questions are just that. They're just there for review, but you should be able to get them all correct. They're very basic review. The English quiz is just that. It is an English quiz, okay? Make sure that you are doing your best, that you are thinking these through, okay? All right, I hope you have a great day. I miss you guys.